What is your name and grade?
I'm Xia Nesbitt, and I am a 10th grader.
All right. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions surrounding the social issues you may experience in and outside of lab. So to start, what ethnicity do you identify as?
African American.
All right. And do you ever feel like you've been socially limited or benefited based on your ethnicity, whether that's like stereotypes or?
Yeah, I feel like at lab there's such a demand for like diversity and for understanding. So being a minority, sometimes it feels beneficial because I feel like my perspective is really valued. But then on the other hand, I think there's a little like subconscious discrimination that happens at lab. Like it's more so like in the jokes that people make or like the friend groups that people form. A lot of the time it feels like you just want to be friends with people who sort of like identify similarly to you, and sometimes that's an advantage and a disadvantage.
Sure. Now, switching gears a little bit, do you feel like you've ever been socially limited or benefited based off the way you look, whether it's body image or?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both maybe. In terms of race, I think it happens both ways. I think at lab, sort of less so, but when you go outside of lab, like to the suburbs in different part of the city, you'll be like profiled and stereotyped. But I think that at lab, what more contributes is almost like body image, and there's no like overt like bullying that I've experienced at all. You know, there's like some sort of like divide there.
Sure. Now, I'm going to read you the definition of objectification. So, objectification is the act of treating a person as an object or a thing. Do you ever feel like you've been objectified, whether it's sexualization or being treated without regard to emotion?
Yeah, so I think like again, when you're a minority at lab, there's a lot of issues around being like the token of that thing. Like in a certain space, you feel like you're expected to behave a certain way or contribute something based on the way that you like identify. And I think that's sort of one way that objectification happens at lab. I feel like you don't really hear that much about like the sexual side of objectification, but I think it definitely happens.
Sure.
But people have less stories about that.
Sure. Now, finishing up, how long have you been at lab?
I've been at the lab for my whole life.
Okay. And do you ever feel like you've been socially limited or benefited based on how long you've been at lab?
Yeah, I think definitely benefited. You know, I've known the same people since I was in like nursery 3, so I think it helps me sort of feel more comfortable here. But then when you go to other places, like other schools, other events, you kind of feel like an idiot almost because you don't really know anyone.
Sure. And Zia, what is one thing you want people to know about you?
I don't know. I think I'm pretty friendly and understanding, and also like positive.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.